Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? What is happening? Welcome to the New York Open. It's that time of day again. You know what? I tend to do these streams and just take one big breath and then just bring the fire. That's what these streams are about, okay? We talk in real time. Price can do whatever it wants. We're just trying to make sense of the madness of the market maker. So, ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect for passing through to today's live stream. What's going to happen next? We don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but we're sure going to enjoy some movement today. As you can see, I've got the charts up ready for some price action. If you are new to the channel, of course, be sure to subscribe at the end of the stream just to make sure you believe that this may be worth your time. If not, mad love and respect for passing through anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get to what we know. Let's get to that good old sports commentary, that breaking down price action. Might be a little bit of a ride for anybody new, but to all the day ones that have been with me from day one, said that twice, never mind. Let's just have a conversation, guys. Here we go. So, what has been the story so far, ladies and gentlemen? We need to understand this price action. Bitcoin seems to have been moving positively to the upside. We have certain ranges that Bitcoin does need to break for us to solidify this move to continue. We are breaking out of a couple of ranges, okay? Now we've got a few more ranges that Bitcoin does need to break through. And firstly, what I'm going to do is just talk about what we have in front of us. Put the book map to the side because that's when we start speaking at the speed of light, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Bitcoin on the 50. Oh, actually, no, let's roll over here. Let's go to the one hour time frame. So as it stands right now, Bitcoin has progressed away from this range and we have got the resistance at the 800 EMA. Okay, we are so close to coming to last week's psychological high and low. Now we know at this point, when they last were trading from here, they had dropped from that zone. Okay, so if Bitcoin can break the 800 EMA with conviction and take out last week's high, then there is a good chance, ladies and gentlemen, that we are likely to see some form of reversal at this point. How deep will the reversal be is a whole nother story, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, once we get there, we will have a conversation about it. To the right of the chart, we have got the micro E-mini NASDAQ 100 index futures. Now, what is it about the NASDAQ and Bitcoin? Look, it's tech stocks. And usually the disparity says that when NASDAQ's moving up, Bitcoin should be following suit. You know, Bitcoin is in the tech industry, is it not? Yeah? Whether it's an asset or not, or as a security, that's irrelevant. Ideally, it's following the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ is also coming up towards a 800 EMA. Now, listen, in terms of trading, or should I say stocks and shares, all right, Usually when you see 3 days of accumulation, it could indicate that there is an uptrend about to take on. To start to roll out. Now, this is on the idea of a gentleman called William J. O'Neill, who created Investors Business Daily, where he's trading stocks and shares and working out what is going to happen in the indexes, which will be reflected on the behavior of traders in various stocks. Okay, so if we just look at the NASDAQ for the last 3 days, we're going to have an understand what's going on there. Here we go. So look. We have had so far 3 up days with the NASDAQ. If we take Bitcoin at the same token, we've also got 3 up days. Now, this is consistent with accumulation. Why? Because each day that the NASDAQ has traded positively, it has been more than 1%. It indicates that there is accumulation. So institutional traders are seeking stock. All right? Now, of course, that's different with cryptocurrency, but if Bitcoin's following NASDAQ, then we would come to the understanding that if the NASDAQ starts to move higher, Bitcoin's going to move higher. Are we going to get that follow through? So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to get into the segment of the stream where we are going to start breaking down price in real time. Please be sure, ladies and gentlemen, to be cautious, all right? It can get a bit exciting. We can anticipate price moving from one point to the next. And you might, it is tempting, okay? You're probably like thinking, oh, where can I make an exit trade or what have you? Listen, this is purely for entertainment purposes, at the same time, educational purposes. I want you to understand the way price moves. So, let's roll with it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the book map and understand where we are. We know Bitcoin needs to try and break above the 800 EMA, which sits at roughly around the 42,168 range. Let's look into the book map and understand where is the liquidity. So, as it stands, 42,510. There is currently a little bit of liquidity up there, and the book is actually favoring limit sales. There's an imbalance to limit sales. So, principle would say that every time it goes up, we're triggering limit sales in the chart. When we zoom out, this is the book map on 5 exchanges, guys. So we got Bitstamp, Bitfinex, Coinbase Pro, FTX, and Kraken. I do need to put Binance on there, but not to worry because I've got Binance to the left of us right here. So across all exchanges, we can see that we have got lots of liquidity down here. Okay, you can see the negative deltas are coming in. Now, we know that the negative delta implies that there's more sells than there are buys. But in respect to the actual bid and the ask itself, we know that in order for them to actually buy, they have to hit the bids because people that are selling are being brought. Do you understand? Those guys who are advertising sales are getting brought up by the players who want lower prices, okay? This is why we're seeing big red deltas, because this is, in principle, the presence of Mr. Market Maker filling his longs at lower prices. Likewise, when we see the green deltas coming up at the highest point, we indicate that people are buying, retail traders, but Mr. Market Maker is selling into those buys, okay? So that's how we're able to understand if there is going to be a turning point in the chart. Now, across those 5 platforms, the VWAP is where you see this white line right here. Okay, so we're right now at a turning point, which could in essence dictate what's going to happen throughout the rest of this session. If we go over to Bitcoin in Binance itself, we can see, here we go. Look at that, mad amount of liquidity coming into Binance. What have we got here? Look at this cluster right here, 42,800. 236 Bitcoin, 42,700, 195 Bitcoin. Below that, 349, 60 now. 42,600, 177, 105, 305, 167. Do I need to continue, ladies and gentlemen? Most of the liquidity is to the upside, but this is where the limit sales are taken. We can see that shorts are being liquidated. We've had 1,353 shorts liquidated. That's where it is right there. Sorry, in US dollars. But remember, these are smaller time frames. So this is what's happening within the candle. So if I were to bring this up right here, sorry, let's remove that and bring up studies configuration. And if I were to turn this into a candle and make it the 1 hour candle, you would see, if you look closely, you've actually got the development of a 1 hour candle. Each of this right here, this is the 1 hour candle. So we're still developing a 1 hour candle. We've got the New York Open that has started, seems to be trading lower. There may have been a bit of a gap up in the New York session itself. So we're now going to try and make sense of this price action right here. When are they going to trigger the interest from traders in this zone right here, ladies and gentlemen? So let's get into the charts and have a look. Here we go. What have we got? Seems like there's a bit of a rejection right now on the 800 EMA. The stopping volume candle on the 1 hour time frame seems to have respected that zone, but we haven't broken down below the 5 EMA, so it's not that this move is going to fade out and what have you, but we expect a bit of a retrace given that we've had this big move already. Got some liquidations coming in. If you look left, you can see where previous commitment was present in the chart. The idea is that they should be coming back in again at this point to test the intention. Look, the book is favored to limit buys. Look at that. Up there is an imbalance of limit buys. So we're expecting buys to come in at this point. If they break down from this range, then we may come back into these zones right here and start liquidating some of the 100x traders in this range right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're waiting to see if we're going to get that commitment. More importantly, at 2:30, we've got the open for the futures markets. And it's really all down to what is going to happen from now until that point. Are they going to hold this range, break higher? Are we going to see a stop hunt in New York to potentially try and take out the M5 pivot, which sits at the ADR range for Bitcoin for today? This is the range week, the range daily high right there, ladies and gentlemen. If I bring it out for you, you'll see it bright as day. Here we go. There's the range daily high, the range daily low. Okay, this factors in the previous session's absolute high, absolute low, and determines a range. Okay, we are now trading towards these points, but we have the 800 EMA resistance. If we can break above 800 EMA, that will be a good sign for this move. How long will this move last for is irrelevant, ladies and gentlemen. It's irrelevant. Why? Because the idea is that if you've managed to grab the liquidity, or should I say you've managed to capitalize on the move from this zone right here and move into this area here, then you would be in presence of profit taking. Okay, this is why when we see a stop hunt happen in the charts, ladies and gentlemen, a stop hunt is consistent with this behavior like so. Because what's happening here is Mr. Market Maker can see the liquidity up here from the limit orders. Okay, you can see that bright as day. Go to the book map, you can see it yourself. Look at the liquidity above right here. So the idea is are they going to encourage price to go higher to get these bad boys filled? And then once it gets to this point, we will have to make another decision. A lot of traders place orders in and around the 800 EMA, 200 EMA, 50 EMA, depending on the time frame that you're looking at it from. Okay, so what you want to do is whenever you do see price hitting any moving average, just focus on what is actually happening. Why? Because people place orders here. So just because it breaks an 800 EMA in the chart doesn't mean it's going to continue higher. If that's the case, we want to see the clean break up and then the retrace back into it, because whilst the retrace is happening, the 50 EMA would have crossed up, 200 EMA would have fanned out, and then hopefully the 800 EMA would be coming like this, cross over the 200, and then we would see this assumption of moving averages. That's the end goal for Bitcoin. So if you think from this point Bitcoin's going to go to 50k, you really need to be seeing this happening in terms of the moving averages to solidify the momentum stepping in to move price higher. Yes, moving averages are laggard indicators, but they're a good indication as to where we are in terms of momentum. So the overall idea is price is moving up. 200 EMA seems to be moving higher. 50 EMA have crossed over. People place trades purely on this narrative. Wait for an EMA crossover. Happy days to the upside. Yeah? Now, let's have a look at Ethereum, because it seems like things are pretty quiet right now. Ethereum has done a nice little move. It's already gone above the 800 EMA and tested that zone. That's great news for us, because you can see the patterns come into play. Look, rise, retrace, test the 800, continuation out. Move away from the psychological high and the psychological low. Happy days. Okay? Now, we'll expect the retrace into the to the 5 or the 13 EMA to see the proof of this move, because they're getting ground. They're gaining higher ground. Ethereum has taken its previous structure right here. All right? However, Bitcoin, on the other hand, also has taken this structure, but it's now looking for this zone, because this structure right here, as you can see, which sits at the 42,334, is a very important point, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll be going into last week's psychological area, but more importantly, the last point where they were able to trigger sells. So 42,334, this is where sells were previously triggered. Let's pull up the book map. 42,334, that's where it is right there. Okay? So in the book map itself, that's where the liquidity is to induce limit sells to be triggered. Okay? So is Mr. Market Maker going to follow through with that range? Are we going to see that price action? If we zoom into the chart, can we make sense of what's happening in this area here? A few red deltas down here, probably picking up some more longs at lower prices. We want to see a bit more of a push back up to try and follow through with a rise, a retrace, a continuation. The 1 hour candle seems to be trading negatively, working into the previous wick right here. This is where traders were previously liquidated. So we expect some volatility from this area right here, ladies and gentlemen. Doing a good job to hold within this point. If it does break below this structure, then we're likely to see price come back into this range right here. Remember, guys, this and trading is all about auctions. It's all about who's prepared to pay for whatever it is they're trading. Are they prepared to pay a higher price? That's what 90% of retail traders potentially may do. Okay, because they buy into the idea it's rising and it's going to continue to rise. All right. So it's an auction place. That's why price, in my opinion, is irrelevant when you're trading. It's good for you to understand where you are as a point of reference. So let's be honest. How important is the 800 EMA? It's 42,147. Well, what is that to Bitcoin? It's nothing. How important is the 42 zone? It's important because it's a whole number. Institutional traders place trades at those zones. Okay, remember that. They don't say, right, we're going to wake up in the morning, we're going to go to the office and we need to get as many orders filled at $42,167.38 because that is the number that we need. It's irrelevant. But whole numbers and half numbers are impressionable numbers, which is why when you look in the charts, ladies and gentlemen, for every whole number that you see, and this is for my new guys that are passing through to the channel, you will see vector candles breaking up or down below whole and half numbers. All right, so let's just change this number to 42 for a split second, just to help you understand that. Look at this, 42K. Vector candle red breaking through, okay? Vector candle green breaking through. What is it about the whole and the half numbers that means that whenever they go into those ranges, they absorb liquidity? Because that's where people are placing trades, or institutional traders. Okay, that's where most of the pockets of liquidity are residing at. Okay. Now, with this move to the upside, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that Bitcoin is trading very slowly. All right. If we roll out on the NASDAQ itself, we've had a nice little move right here, and they seem to be stalled in their behavior. Is that a possibility that we have some news coming out today? Let's have a look. This could be some news rolling out. What have we got today? We are on the Wednesday. We've got the CPI from Canadian dollar. That's already played out. We have the existing home sales at 3 p.m., which could be a little bit of a market mover, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right, so day 3 of the International Monetary Fund meetings, fair enough, crude oil and G20 meetings. Okay, so to be honest with you, there's not that much of an influx of news coming out today, to be honest with you, that could really affect price other than the actual existing home sales. So by 3 o'clock today, we may get a little bit of volatility. Let's have a look at the liquidation points in the high block to understand what we can expect moving forward. Ah, man, let me sort this out. Why has it done that? It's logged me out. It has logged me out. Here we go. There we are. Happy days. So let's roll with it. This is a chart that will show you the assumed liquidation points. So here we are. So in this move up, we've got $85 million worth of longs that have been opened. 100x traders are advertising their positions. But they've been taking advantage of the short traders up here. We've got one more spot for $104 million worth of shorts at 25x. Listen, a market maker would rather go for 25x traders as opposed to the 100x traders. Why? Because there's more liquidity there. That means short traders at 25x have used a lot more capital to open a trade. And this is a common thing, like everyone's like, okay, so what do I do then? Do I trade with less capital and use more leverage? Or do I trade with less leverage and use more capital? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's all down to what your preference of risk is about. What are you comfortable with? If you want to make it as cheap as possible and you want to start using less money with more leverage, well, the principle says you are using less money, but there is a good chance that your money could get liquidated in your position, okay? Which then naturally encourages you to put down more margin to protect your 100x trade. Do you understand? So it's a catch-22 scenario. There are other strategies out there that you can apply, but quite frankly, guys that use 100x, okay, and hope to see volatility, buy at the wrong times. Okay, they get in at the wrong times. You want to get in at the lowest point possible and absorb the move and be out of the range of the trade rather than going long in these sort of areas right here, which is where most of the retail traders do. So look at this, $85 million worth of longs right there at 41,787. Okay, they haven't been liquidated yet, but look at how sharply price came back down. Some guys could have been liquidated. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you are taking trades with leverage or not. Try your hardest to understand what leverage is really about. It can be exciting, but guys, this is not what it's about. It's not about coming to the game and being excited about crypto and trading. That's not what we're here for. We're here to understand the narrative. We're here to understand how Mr. Market Maker breaks down price and try and exploit that. Okay? So let's get back into the charts right here. I'm going to have a look at some altcoins for you, ladies and gentlemen, very shortly. Let's just have a look. So Bitcoin, look, it seems to be stuck in this area right here. We're not getting that price action that we want, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just have a look closer at what we see. So a few longs are getting liquidated right here. Doesn't seem to be showing me that aggressiveness, but we do have another 20 minutes until the charts actually start showing activity with the full open of the New York futures. So we're going to leave that for a second. Let's go to some altcoins and have a look at what's actually been moving over the past few hours. So here we go. Jasmicoin, yet again, bringing the fire, going above the 800 EMA. Well, let's understand what coins are actually doing the business first, before we can make the assumption on what's doing well. Here we go. This is the crypto market cap for the altcoins there. Most of the altcoins right now are trading above the 800 EMA, okay? So that's going to give us an understanding. It's going to tell us that any coins that are trading way beyond the 800 EMA, it's going to be set up for potential retraces. But when the retrace finalizes and the continuation steps in, then you can bet those coins are probably going to move higher. So let's go back into our altcoins as well. And listen, if you want access to this watch list, ladies and gentlemen, it is available in the Discord. So make your way over to the Discord. And if you are new to the channel, you can download these indicators. They are free of charge. Pinned to the top of the chat is the website where you can check it all out. But more importantly, an understanding of the indicators, you'll find that on the wiki for Traders Reality. Okay, this has been created by the guys in the Discord. They've contributed with PDFs and what have you to help you understand all the concepts discussed in the stream. Okay, cool. Now listen, Zilliqa, where's Zilliqa at? Come on, way above that 800 EMA. So this is a good coin to be paying attention to in terms of volatility, okay? It's good because it's trading above the 800 EMA when most of the altcoins are just about getting over the 800 EMA. So when they retrace all together, Zilliqa may retrace back into the psychological ranges, okay? And then continue with its move higher. So it's hit its range daily high. So Zilliqa is currently holding the strength. Ava, look at that. Look at that for fire. 800 EMA flat, 200 flat, 50 EMA crossing over both. This is what you want to see for Bitcoin, man. I would love Bitcoin to do this. Look at the structure. Nice W formation. Here we go. Drop, down, and up. So we could be in line for a retrace in Ava right now because it's hit the range daily high. We have the range weekly high, which could be a promise if volatility comes in within the next 15 minutes and further on into the session. Okay? Want me to check out DOT? I'll check out DOT for you, bro. Here is DOT. So what have we got? DOT doing the same thing. So it seems like the DEX platforms are doing pretty well. Still a bit of resistance at the 800 EMA. So it's not one of the leaders in terms of the altcoins moving higher. It's still got a break above the 800 EMA. Okay. More importantly, loop ring showing the strength. Is it above the 8? Yep. Above the 800 EMA, so we are in retrace territory. Proof of the move. Will they come into the 13 EMA to bounce off it, or will they break completely into yesterday's high to bounce off those zones? Why do we need the retrace? Because the retrace gives you the proof of the move. It tells you that if the volatility and the volume comes in on this move higher, okay, then when price comes back down again, you want to see volume reduce. Okay, you want to see the transactions just drop, because then it implies that they're not trying to force price down lower. So they just want to bring it down, just a little bit of a recovery, build more longs at lower prices to shift back out again and realize a return on those positions right there, whilst building more shorts to the upside, whilst taking advantage of the retail trader who believes it's going to continue higher. Okay? So that is where you are right now with Loopring. Going to go for the curve as well. See, it's all the DEX platforms, man. The DEX are moving up. 800 EMA. Not broken fully over it, so we need to wait. Graph token, oh, sharp movement back down. So that could imply that Bitcoin could be doing the same thing. Where are we at with Bitcoin? Just for a second, I need to just check that out. So Bitcoin, has it sharply? No, it hasn't actually moved down sharply. We're at a key turning point, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like it's trying to come back up again. Where's the liquidity in Bitcoin? Here we go. Okay, so we're starting to see some movement here. Is it enough for us to believe we're going to get it? Let's have a look up here. Have we had more liquidity? Wow. Okay, so more liquidity is coming into the book. But is this a block? This is the question. You know, Mr. Market Maker's going to say, okay, can I get more shorts filled in this zone? Can I get people to buy in this zone to transact on these guys up here? All right. We can see longs are being liquidated in this area. And it just seems like there is a controlled behavior, and we're probably waiting for the New York futures markets to open, ladies and gentlemen. So we just need to be mindful of this scenario. Going into smaller time frames on Bitcoin, before I go back into the altcoins, what can I see? Okay, so we have got the 5 and 13 EMA on the 5 minute are compressing together. So we're waiting for volatility. We got a red vector candle zone right there. Is market going to come back up? Seems like they're moving in. Here we go. Let's have a look at that. I'm going to go straight into this area and have a closer look at the liquidity. Bear with me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, what can we make sense of this? All right, then, cool. So, on the lower parts of this 1 hour candle that is currently forming, we're at a point where they could be turning. Liquidity is present in this area to test the intention to actually bounce away from it. So as much as they may be advertising in these areas here, what may be happening is they may be filling orders in this zone to protect this range. And just in case it actually goes lower, they may bring it and spike it down. At least they get their orders filled. Because this looks like a resting order in principle. And they haven't been filled, but they're not cancelling it. When they cancel it, you'll see a gap in the chart. Okay, you'll see gaps like this. You see these gaps? This is what you'll see. If you zoom out, you'll be able to see these gaps clearer. Here we go. Check this out. Here you go. There's an example. So that was an order that was placed, but it was cancelled in the book. All right. Now we've got some movement coming up, ladies and gentlemen. The 1 hour candle seems to be showing the wick to try and come back up. 10 more minutes until the New York session actually futures markets fully opens. We've got ourselves this nice structure right here. We want to get above this zone right here, coming back up into this wick. We want to pay attention to the liquidity up here, ladies and gentlemen. This is phenomenal. Look at how much liquidity is coming up to the upside. But it doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to be filled. Okay, these could be spoofs. Now, a spoof is an order that is fake. Okay, could be an algorithm just pumping the order book to entice people who trade the order book to believe that something's going to happen. All right, 400 Bitcoin above 42,640. So that could be an interesting point that Bitcoin could get to if it can go above this range. Going into price action itself, we've got a move. We're in the brinks as well, ladies and gentlemen. We know we're in stop hunt territory. We have had a confirmation of the M2 pivot point down here, and for the session that is, and we project out with the M2 pivot points. We anticipate that price is going to make its way to the M4 projection zone. The distance between M2 and M4 is the double of M2 M3. Okay, so this distance from here, from this point to this point, is the same distance, but M2 to M4 is double. All right, so this is how we project out using the pivot points. We've tested the pivot point for the day is right here, and you can see they've tested it several times on the 5 minute time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now they followed through. What's peculiar about this, ladies and gentlemen, is this stop hunt that we've seen right here is no different to yesterday's stop hunt down there, and we had this explosive move up. So are we going to see the same thing? Well, that's the truth of the game, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see it break above the 800 EMA, because that is where the proof of the move will reside. And then we will get some volatility to come in, and then we will have to have another conversation about Bitcoin if it can hit last week's high. Okay? Are we cool with that, ladies and gentlemen? Are we cool with that? Yeah? Who's in this chart right? Who's in the stream right now? Who is in the stream? Who have we got here? Pedro, what's happening, my brother? Render, yeah, you know what? I like Render as well. Yeah, Render trades well. Render token, where is it? Where is it? R&D, is it? Where is it? There we are. Okay, so render token, it does trade really well when you catch the move. Okay, you've got it trading way below the 800 EMA, so it's not really one of the coins that is actually causing the alts to move higher. But we've got this big rejection of this red vector candle. Okay, and if it can come back up into that range, we'll have proof of this consolidation of here. You see, when you see this play right here, guys, regardless of it being an altcoin, okay, when you see this structure right here, ladies and gentlemen, all right, this is where you'll get information. Why? Because price is compressed. All right. We've had volatility. Look at it. We've had the volatility in this coin. Now they're compressing. Forget the 800. It's too far away. Right now, 50 and 200 are compressing. So think of an elastic band. When you extend it, you release the pressure. The principle would say that it should break higher. Okay. So if it can hold this range and break out, we would anticipate the range daily high to be taken, which will take us into the previous pools of liquidity in render token, which sits in this area right here. Okay, because everything across the board is trading at a discount right now. So we need to be moving in towards premiums. Problem is, Mr. Market Maker is going to be selling into premium because retail traders buy at a premium. Sad days, but that's the truth. Okay, having a look at the yields themselves. So micro minis, here we go. I'm waiting 7 more minutes until the Nasdaq futures actually do open. We may have a positive open across the board. Looking at the actual yields themselves, they're actually turning down. So people may be taking profits in riskier assets. Bitcoin moving up. Where are we at with the wheat futures? Moving. Oh, there's a gap down in the wheat futures right there. So they may need to fill that gap right there. Crude oil, where's crude at? Trading higher, still at 111. We need to roll over to, where is it? Where's my market cap? Here we go. USDT. So traders are now seeking crypto because they're taking their money out of USDT and putting it into cryptocurrency. Looks like we've got ourselves this structure right here. Principally, this is the behavior, all right? It's a behavior. People are putting their money in and taking it out. All right. So if this is going to continue to go down lower, we would anticipate Bitcoin to go down, to move higher. All right. We've got key points right here. Last week's low could be a promise. Range daily low could be a promise. It all depends on what Bitcoin is going to do next. So Bitcoin is moving up. Let's pay attention to that, ladies and gentlemen. We have got 6 more minutes till the New York futures markets open. 5-minute time frame seems to be consolidating very well. No reason to break out of this trade as such. 15-minute time frame holding price action in this zone. It seems that they're favoring higher prices because they seem to be wicking higher. As you can see, 1 zone, 2, 3, and 4. Are we going to get a follow through for them to try and break up? When I say to you guys, when the 5 and the 13 EMA break, okay, I'm talking about this sort of behavior. All right, you see here, when they break into the 5 and 13 EMA with conviction, all right, that's what you're looking for. Now, of course, in this instance, the trade didn't really last long. All right, if you were to run a short on that candle, you wouldn't have been in that short very long, but this is the 15-minute time frame. So it all depends on what scale you're trading from. You're trading on the 1 minute, you're trading on any other forms of charts, 1 second, 30 second, whatever. Okay. But always try and use the 5 and 13 EMA as a means to understand a breakdown of momentum, okay? Because they're going to show the direction beforehand. But when you look at it closely, you can see they broke down in this area, but then they consolidated sideways. So what actually helps is if you're in a ranged out zone, all right? Bear with me on this. Take the highest point of the range, take the assumed lowest point of the range. Don't place an order up here and say, I'm waiting for it to break into this range, because hindsight says, yeah, if you do that, then you're going to see a profit. That's not what I'm trying to convey here. What I'm trying to get you to understand is this. How frustrated are traders in this area? Yeah. How many traders are trying to grab the highs and go for longs? And how many traders are trying to go for the lows, for the shorts, and grab the shorts to the downside? Okay. By paying attention to the price action, using the moving averages and an indication of where momentum could be, all right? Traders that trade in this range are always going to be the ones who are not patient. They're the ones that want action all the time, okay? Now, it all depends on your strategy. All right? If you are building positions, it's a different story. If you're building positions to go short, then these are the zones that you'd be potentially placing shorts on, the idea that maybe from this zone, I'm able to build some shorts at one zone. And then at the final point, I'm able to put more positions in this area and anticipate a breakdown, retrace, add to my trades and put it back down again. Okay? But the retail trader, when he sees these ranges, all he does is he just simply takes a line and he hopes that price is going to break from that point. He's going to place an order at that high point or a point at this zone right here. And then when it breaks out, he goes long 100x. And then what happens? They sharply come back into the range, continuation out. That's why the retrace will always survive and pay you and save you money. Because look, when the retrace happens in this little move right here, they stayed above the 5 and 13 EMA. I have no reason to believe they're going to break down lower. I take my trade because after that, there's nothing more I can do. My trade is live. Okay? Are we all on the same page, ladies and gentlemen? Are we all on the same page? Please let me know. We got 3 more minutes until the New York futures actually opens up. So let's see what actively happens with that. I'm looking forward to seeing Bitcoin try and take last week's high if it can actually break above this 800 EMA, because right now they are doing a good job of holding this range. Okay, so we're waiting for the volatility to come in. All right, so just be mindful. Waiting for 40k. You know what? Happy days. It will drop slightly, probably. Annabella, how you doing? Same page, same book. This is it. Listen, when trading gets boring, when these streams get boring, it means you're making money because you're seeing the same thing happen and happen over and over again. This is what it's all about, guys. Yeah? Look, we see this happen. It comes back down again. You see a structure, you trade it. See a retrace, you trade it. Tell me, when are they going to actually change their behavior? When retail changes their behavior on how they get fearful and greedy. That's when this market changes, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry yourself about Mr. Market Maker coming to this stream and then changing up his strategy because I'm just talking about the Market Maker business model. Hell no, that's not what's going to happen. There's too much money involved. Do you understand? Thousands of people can use this strategy, but thousands of people won't have the same level of risk. Thousands of people won't trade the same pattern. Thousands of people won't trade the same coin. Yeah? This is the game of uncertainty, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are. All right, let me have a look at the liquidity. Here we go. 1 more minute until the start of the futures markets. We might actually see some activity coming into the charts. So let's ready ourselves for that liquidity, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we're going to get. Here we go. 42,000 seems to be holding pretty well. Look at this. Here we go. We've got some liquidity coming in. Nice move. How much liquidity came in there? Oops, come back down again. Wow, look at that. Nice sharp play. Still at above the 5 EMA. Still not breaking above the 800. I want that push, man. If we can get it, happy days. If not, Bitcoin will likely try and come back into the ranges again. But let's see if the proof of the move is here. Tap the 800 EMA, not once, but twice. Stopping volume candle right there. The next candle in principle. See, what's concerning is this. Volume is rising as price is moving higher. Okay, the stopping volume candle has appeared right here, but it's done a good job of staying in this range. Okay, now it's this candle right here that's going to prove the worth of this move. Are they going to spike up? Are we going to get that liquidity? Look, lots of orders being filled in this zone right here. Something's going to happen, man. See, Tino, isn't this just the finish of a level 3 at the 800 EMA on the 1 hour Bitcoin? Maybe. That may be the case, okay? But if we look at the levels and the cycles on this current time frame, okay, they're going to be fractal in respects to higher time frames. So look at it like this. Where are we on the 4 hour? At the 200. Very important, okay? Notice how they've come up into this vector candle right here. It seems to be a little bit more liquidity. Will the market maker leave this money unturned? Who knows? But there seems to be a little bit more liquidity up here. Let's see if they can break above this zone to solidify them coming up into this zone. Go on to the higher time frame. Let's say the 10-hour chart. Sorry. Yeah, 10-hour chart. It's gone above the 50 EMA. Happy days. That's a nice strong candle to the upside. Let's see if it can hold true. Going into the daily candle itself. Rejects the 50 EMA. Very important. So we now got more information about this move. We're at a resistance point where they can either drop or they can smash straight through. And this is what we're waiting for them to do, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. New York is now fully open. Futures markets are coming into play. 15-minute time frame. No bold movement yet. Lots of liquidity coming in. Book is in balance to limit sells to the upside. Let's have a look at the liquidity coming in right now. Is it still present? Nothing much is happening right now. Seems like some of the liquidity has been removed. Let's have a look. Yeah, some of it has been removed. Here we go. Coming down into the 13 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, which is the 50 EMA on the... the 50 EMA on the... Forget that. Coming to the 13 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. All right, it's moving down. Here we go. Aggressive play right here. Markets absorbing orders. Be careful. Taps that 13 EMA. Coming into potentially this area here with the vector candle. Let's see if this is the true proof of the move. Everything has been positive throughout up until this point right now. Nasdaq trading positive. Bitcoin spiking lower. Let's have a look at yen for a second. Yen is coming down still. All right, so this is the turn point. This is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the proof of the move, ladies and gentlemen. Could be. Market maker is dabbing hard. What time is it, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to need you guys to keep an eye out for me. 3 o'clock. We got to go get our daughter. We got to get the mini market maker. All right, then. So they're stalling. Not really seeing the movement. What is the story? Here we go. Delta's coming in. Negative delta right there. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Come on. Build up, man. Build it up. Here we go. All right, then. Cool. So this has been a continuous dropping in price. So net delta's coming in negative. People are seeing that. People are reacting to that. Mr. Market Maker's hitting the bids. They're hitting the bids. That means they're buying into these guys. Hitting the bids, coming down, spike low below the 5 and 13 EMA. Here we go. Yesterday's high could be a promise. And the movement comes. Let's see what they're going to do. Liquidations. Longs are being liquidated. Yesterday's high, can it hold? Is this the first retrace? Proof of the move, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like the 800 EMA has acted as a resistance point so far. Lots of liquidations. $83,000 worth of liquidations have come into that point. Those longs in this area may have been liquidated very shortly. Hold on. 41,712. Has it gone to that? Not just yet. 41,818. Hasn't actually hit those liquidation points just yet. Now we've got, look, loads of liquidations right there, man. Quite a bit. So we're now waiting to see, is this going to be like a V-shaped play on the smaller time frames? Are we going to see the liquidity coming in? If we zoom out, we're going to make sense of that. Look left. Can we see? Okay, so this is where... Let's zoom out a bit more. That way we're going to see clearer where we are in terms of the book map. All right, then. There we are in this area. Not so much happening in this zone other than this area down here, which will take us to 41. The VWAP's trading higher. Could be a stop hunt low rise. We are in the New York session Brinks. We are still in the Brinks session itself. So we've got another 15 minutes. Yeah, sorry, half an hour until the Brinks finalizes. Here we go. We've got Bitcoin coming to test the yesterday's high. That's a good sign. Liquidity is eating up right now. 101,000 short longs are being liquidated in this zone from this move to the upside. Happy days in that sense. For the guys who are running the shorts, unfortunate for the guys running the longs. Now we're waiting to see the proof of the move. Is it going to hold? Okay, if they come to just grab the liquidity to try and reverse back up. It's a really important zone right now. Seems as though that the 800 EMA has acted as the resistance point, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Look at that. Strong rejection of that zone. Coming into the wick of this green vector candle. Back up into the yesterday's high. Look at that, man. Look at that. They're testing the VWAP right there. So when you see this sort of situation, guys, all right, you want to be cautious about trading these points because this is where mad amounts of liquidity are exchanging hands. So this is where the stop hunts come into play. All right. That's why half an hour after the market opens, you really want to then consider your trades. okay? Because you've absorbed all the idea of everyone reacting to whatever's been happening overnight. They've had their orders filled, and now the trading day starts. So it's always the first couple of hours is going to bring you most of the volatility, okay? Wait for the first 30 minutes, see where you are, what's the narrative, and then make your decision from that point, okay? We're waiting for Bitcoin to break above this 800 EMA if the narrative of this move to the upside is going to continue, okay? We get that bit of volatility. Proof of this move will be solidified in the start of the next 1 hour candle, okay? Because if they're getting ready to start to break down lower, the next candle will break through this range, okay? So we're waiting now. We're waiting to see proof of the move. They've tried the 800 and failed miserably. Now we're going to wait and see. Got a retrace into the 5 and 13. We've got no reason to believe that the trend is going lower because this move is really fast. We want confirmation that this is the point that they're going to leave from, okay? Okay, Bitcoin oversold on the 1 minute time frame. 2 drops down. Maybe. Yep, listen. Paying yourself. No one went broke paying themselves, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the truth of the game. No one went broke. Okay? It's not about staying in trades for as long as you can. It's about getting in the trade and profiting as soon as possible. All right? Now, I'm not talking 10 cents. All right? Or the second your profit is realized and you close it. Well, you're going to get hit on fees. Okay? Make sure it's worth your while. All right? So let's just go again into lower time frames. I just need to make sure what we're seeing right here. Okay, so a bit of a rollover happening, testing the 50 EMA on the 5 minute time frame. Red vector candles. This is acting like a bit of a stopping volume candle. Matched volume right there. Could be a position adding possibility. Okay, till they break this structure down here, ladies and gentlemen, we may not actually get. They need to break that structure right there. That's what they'd need to do, because now they're testing the 50. They're trying to form the low for the New York session, maybe. But if this rejection of the 800 EMA is going to hold true, then we are likely to see Bitcoin rip down towards the daily open. All right? So we just need to be mindful of that, ladies and gentlemen. Bookmap showing lots of liquidity coming in at this point, holding this zone right there. If we look at the delta itself, 104 Bitcoin, 96. And now we're starting to see it's slowing down a little bit. Maybe one more attempt down. Unless they're finished with this range, testing the 50, yesterday's high. That's where they had interest from before. Lots of liquidations have come in. VWAP seems to be okay. So it's just a bit of a retrace. We just need to see the proof of the move, ladies and gentlemen. All right then. So, coming into the start of a new 1 hour candle in 20 minutes time. All right. What have you got to be mindful of? We've had a fast move in the New York session so far. Is this profit taking from this move to the upside? Are they taking advantage of traders going short, going long in this move to the upside? We can see that the 41,740 was a point where assumed liquidations were present. Here we go. We're getting some more movement. Here we go. They're going for these liquidations, aren't they? These guys. 41,712. $85 million worth of longs. 41,712, what will take us into this zone right here, ladies and gentlemen, which is this structure right here. So look at how busy they're getting in this zone. 41,7, what was it? 41,712. 41,712. I'm going to move that. 41,712. That is where $85 million worth of assumed liquidations will get hit. Longs, that is. 100x traders. Okay? Which sits at this previous structure where they had previously gave them a reason to get in, because that's where traders last got in. So if they're going to move price back there and liquidate those guys, are they going to continue to move price down lower or trigger the same guys to stay and hold their trade and reverse it back up to make them commit and add more to the trade and then return back up and then make them bleed it to the downside again? This is what we're waiting for. Let me get rid of this candle because it seems to be a bit of an obstruction for us. What have we got? There we go. All right, then, here we are. So liquidity being cancelled off in the order book. They're still holding this liquidity right here. 230 Bitcoin, 161, 191. There's a lot of Bitcoin orders up here. Nothing much. Steve's calling me. Going to have to be mindful of that, ladies and gentlemen. Hello? Steve, what's good? Nah. Well, you tell me. You called me, bro. Nah. I'm not. No. You said 800 EMA, bro. Okay. Listen, we'll discuss this later on, bro. You ain't helping me for nothing, man. Nothing at all. Get out of my face, man. Move. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive me for that. Steve, if you are new to the channel, he's a market maker that I'm very close with. And he likes to call me during the live streams because he's obviously watching the streams. You know, and he tends to influence the market in many ways. Last time he moved the market, I think it was 89 cents worth of Bitcoin. That's what he sold. And the market just collapsed. It was absolutely phenomenal. Unbelievable what he did. So hopefully that's not going to happen to us today. All right, look at that. Look how they just tapped that liquidity right there. Yeah? They come into it. 85 million right here. So we should expect some activity in this zone. Coming towards the VWAP, we saw this yesterday. We expect them to break into the VWAP and then support came through. Look, they've hit it. Now they've released that liquidity. $85 million worth of longs have been liquidated. Unbelievable. How unfortunate for those traders right now. How unfortunate. They are getting eaten alive. So they've gone even lower. They've come down. There's the short, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Dropping price down. Clean rejection of the 800 EMA. They're eating the longs liquidation points. Let's go into this chart for a second. Next point would be the 41270. Look at that. Violet vector candle. One more minute until this actually finalizes. Here we go. 235,000 worth of longs getting liquidated. 130 in that zone. Here we go. They've just absorbed all that liquidity. Look at the trickery right there. Smacking it down. Maybe a little bit of a recovery back up. Let's see if it's the truth. Can we see it? Nah, man, they're going for it. They're eating those longs. They've come into this liquidity right here, hit those liquidations, all before the start of a new 15-minute candle. 2 more minutes until the start of a new 15-minute candle. Here we go. Red vector candle. 1, 2, 3 hits to the low. Let's see if they're going to actually do this. They've broken below the VWAP right there, ladies and gentlemen. So we're now going to see, are we going to get a continuation lower, test the daily open, bounce up, or are they actually going to just bleed the range? Look at that, Mr. Market Maker. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. Here we go. M3 pivot currently being tested, ladies and gentlemen. Are we going to see a snapback? Typical stop hunt territory. Brinks box, New York session. This is when they bring the fire to the pads. All right. Looking at the way they're behaving here, ladies and gentlemen, if we just quickly pull up the 1 hour time frame, look at that sharp move, clean rejection of the 800 EMA. Frightening. Testing the 5 and the 13 EMA. We haven't had a violation of that range just yet, but you can see the treacherous of this behavior. The treacherousness of Mr. Market Maker. Is that even a word? Who cares? It's bad behavior. Look how they've come and eaten that liquidity and try and snap back up. Here we go. Green Delta coming into the chart. Sharp move up, come back down again. Testing this VWAP in the book. Look at the liquidity being removed on here. Look at that. Cancelled, cancelled. Despicable. Delta right there. 137 Bitcoin coming in. Seems like they want to hold the support of this VWAP. Look at this for a turning point. Stop hunt low. Trigger the shorts to step in. Try and reverse back up. Is this the New York low? Here we go. What have you got for us, BTC? Market Maker, are you not entertained? This is funny. Please, in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you are enjoying this madness. We do this every day, guys. So if you are new, be sure to subscribe. And tonight I'm going to be doing a video as opposed to a live stream. Because when I finish these live streams, man, it knocks me for 6. It really does. I've got this adrenaline running through me. This thing. I don't know what it is. Just talking into speculation. And I'm hoping it serves you all. I hope it does serve you all and you can pick something up. You're witnessing market maker behavior here. VWAP seems to be holding right here. Delta's coming 446 Bitcoin absorbed in this area right here. So the proof of this move here is, are the market makers getting ready to release price back up? Are they finished with it? Because people are getting liquidated in this current area. Okay. Unfortunately, $85 million worth of longs at 100x traders are being liquidated. Okay. And here we go. Here we go. Some more activity coming in. Here we go. Sharp move down. More liquidations. Still not finished with the range, ladies and gentlemen. We could get a spike even to the daily open. 200 EMA on the 5-minute time frame. New 15-minute candle doing the business, dropping down, rejection of the VWAP right there. Still not broken this structure right here. Look how they're coming into this wick, this green vector zone right here. This will be the break of the structure. Need to be mindful of this. We've got this low zone right here, and then this zone right here, ladies and gentlemen. Could be a promise. We just want to wait and see if we're going to get that bounce. Because it looks like on the VWAP, they're doing a little mini W formation. Will it hold? Different story. So 474 longs opened in this area here, but at the same time, they've ripped it back down and hit more liquidations. People are trying to buy right now, okay? And they're just eating into the liquidity, taking traders out. We know 85 million has been absorbed in this zone right here. Here we go. Actually, 417129 doesn't make sense. Why has it not been hit yet? It should have been hit. What time is that? 1341. Yeah, it's been done. They've hit that. Just need to update it. Come back into that range one more time. What's the Nasdaq saying? Wow, look at that. Nice retrace back down again. Big dump right there. And then we have got Bitcoin. This is the area, man. Here we go. What have we got? What are we witnessing here? Come on. Need to go onto a higher time frame. Just look at the zones that we are in. Sharp move up, rejection, come down. Still holding in this structure right here. Not even a test of the 50 EMA just yet on the 20-minute time frame. Go on to the 2-hour chart. What do we have? Standard play. Red vector candle. Ooh, okay. So the start of in 11 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen, we will know the proof of this move. 11 minutes time, new 1-hour candle. Are we going to see a recovery back up? Is this just another opportunity to get longs at lower prices, or is this the start? Because this looks like it's formed a little bit of a railroad track where it could be a reversal to the downside. Now this red candle, green candle formation could indicate price could go up, but it's all going to be dependent on the candle start in 11 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. If they can come back up and recover, then the proof of this push to the upside will be verified. So let's see if it is going to happen. Here we go. I want to wait and see. Here we are coming into that zone. See, they've tried to go lower, spike, up, down, up, down. Something interesting is brewing here, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'm pumped. Type 1 if you are pumped, ladies and gentlemen. Show some love. Where we at? 600 of you have liked the stream. 1,700 of you are with me in this live. Mad love and respect for being here, ladies and gentlemen. I actually haven't even looked at my the actual poll. Here we go. 42% of you thought it was going to move higher. 30% of you thought it was going to drop. 11% of you said the above doesn't matter. And 17% of you are wearing green jumpers. Mad love and respect to my guys with the green jumpers. Mad love and respect. All right, they're cool. So to make sense of this move, guys, 10 minutes time, we're going to see potentially the start of a new candle. If the aggressiveness of this candle is going to be sustained, they are going to rip through down to the daily open. Okay, what we're waiting for is the commitment, because this wasn't a vector candle beforehand. It became a vector. So where are we going to see the commitment? Is it going to come in? This is what we're looking for, because even if price does rip to the upside and comes back up into this range, the next hour candle, okay, will likely recover that wick. So we've got to be careful with this. This is the stop hunt territory, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Stop hunt territory. It's a pleasure to have you here, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Listen, if you are new, I'll say it again, man. If you are new and you want access to these indicators, they're pinned to the top of the chat. You can see access to the Traders Reality website where there is a walkthrough and how you can download everything. All right. We've got a wiki where most of the data by traders in the Pattern Watchers Discord, where everyone's taken their ideas and understanding of the hybrid and put it in a wiki. So go check that out. That's right there. You need a Discord name to log in for it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now, the VWAP itself is behaving very interestingly in this point right here. It doesn't make sense what I'm saying, but the VWAP is doing something interesting. Algorithms like the VWAP. Okay. It's like programs get triggered at this point. There's a reason for it. Okay. And this is where price is holding. Okay. Now, what we want to see is we want to see Bitcoin rip up higher. Now, 4-hour time frame. in 2 hours' time, we will see the end of this candle. So all they could be doing is recovering the blue vector and then hopefully trying to come back up again. No different to what they did here. Okay? Remember, look. Come down, recovery the blue vector. Next candle, spikes down, recovers the wick, comes back up. Then these candles recover those wicks. That candle recovers the wick. This candle shoots up, recovers the main wick. And then the next candle opens and shifts out. Okay? This is potentially what could be happening in this area, ladies and gentlemen. But it's all dependent on Mr. Market Maker in the next hour. Here we go. New 1 hour candle in 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Then we got to get the mini market maker. And this time I've got a chip because I was late yesterday, man. She was losing her nut. She was going crazy at me. Here we go. Violet vector candle, 1 hour. This is good. If it's a violet vector candle, then there is a good chance that the next candle should recover it because it means that they're trying to not push price down too aggressively. All right. If it turns into a red vector, it's also a positive thing because they haven't broken below the 13 EMA. So the structure is still valid. It's just a quick drop in price recovery afterwards. But the next hour candle will reflect that. Because if they're going to run and release down lower, then the 50 EMA could be a promise in the charts, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all going to be dependent on the start of the next hour candle. Okay? But it's 3 hits to the high. What happened to your theories, you long Tino? Kenneth, 3 hits to the high, yes. Okay? But you've got to remember, where are we overall? We've had the 3 hits to the high in principle. They've reversed it. Happy days. You took the trade. Cool. Now the short's in play. How long is the short going to last for? Yeah? How long is it going to last for? This is the question. Price is moving higher. Okay? We've got this big structure right here. Where does 3 hits to the high come into it? What time frame are you basing it off? Are you basing it off the 5 minute, the 1 hour, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, the 30 second? Where are you applying the concept? We haven't had a test of the 50 EMA on the 1 hour for quite some time. We've had the crossover of the 200 EMA and the 50. Okay? They've come up to the 800. No follow through. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's that move. Here it is. Look at that. Look at that. Ah, man. Man, look at that. They've just eaten. Look. Wow. Wow. So the lowest point they come into was 41,398. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That was a fast move right there, ladies and gentlemen. 489 Bitcoin absorbed. 533 Bitcoin, over 1,000 Bitcoin nearly hit in this zone right now, ladies and gentlemen, all before the start of the next 1 hour candle. They've hit the daily open, come back up above it. They've shaken out a lot of traders right here, man. Guys that were long, they paid the price, man. They paid the price. Rejection at the 800 EMA was always going to be that case, man. They never followed through with it. But now we're going to see if this was a shakeout. Look at the Brinks box, guys. This is why the start of the New York session is and always will be one of those fast, volatile moments. 4 more minutes, is it? Yep. 5 more minutes. 5 whole minutes before they finalize this 1 hour. Are they going to bleed out in this range? Because this move is so aggressive, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievably aggressive, man. Wick the daily, shift out. Wednesday could be a midweek reversal. Well, the midweek reversal's on a Thursday, okay? Midweek reversal is Thursday, all right? That's what we anticipate. Tomorrow, Powell is having a conversation, all right? So they could be setting up price for that. Here we go. Where is it? There you go. You got Powell speaking tomorrow, and then you've got Bailey speaking tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot of volatility tomorrow, and you've got the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index coming out as well. And CB leading index. Okay, that's not that interesting. But other than that, you know, Powell's talking tomorrow. So we're going to see some activity. This could be the setup for it. All right? 3 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, bias or not, we're talking about real-time price action. If I'm talking about if it can't break above the 800 EMA, then it's likely going to come back down. The bias has been fulfilled. Okay? If it can hold in this range and the next start of a next vector candle should see price come back up and recover this red vector candle, happy days. Narrative changes. Like I said, I don't favor whether I'm bullish or bearish. I'm favoring movement. That's what I want. Whether it's to the downside or to the upside. Okay? Don't be fixated on bias. You're looking for movement. If it's showing you that it's going to go higher, cool, take your trade. If it's showing you it's going to go lower, cool, take your trade. Be accountable. Make the decision for yourself. It's not going to be handed to you on a plate. This game is a lonely business, ladies and gentlemen. It's just you and your capital, no one else. Because you start bringing other people into it, then you're going to be, not that you don't have a conviction of your own trading, but you're looking for a guarantee. You're looking for a surefire way to justify your trading. The only way that you can know about your trading is if you are in live trades and you are committing liquidity where you're having to manage your risk, okay? And if you can manage your risk, you stand a better chance in this game. Please be quiet, man. I'm going to lose this watch, man. This watch keeps on talking to me. Here we go. Coming up towards 3 more minutes until the start of a new 1 hour candle. We've seen that volatile move, okay? Happy days. They come and tested the daily open. And here we are. Are we going to get that move? What will the next 1 hour candle bring to us? Because we've now come back into the structure, ladies and gentlemen. The structure has, price has returned into the structure. Now the test of the daily open is present. This is where traders stepped in last time. So we would anticipate a bit of a recovery. So let's see if we can get that recovery back up. Delta's been pushing price down lower. Mr. Market Maker has been buying up longs. Okay. He's been hitting the liquidations for the retail trader. Let's see how long they sustain this move for. 1 more minute. 1 more minute, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Looking at your comments right here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Come on. 1 more minute. If this candle can recover back up, it doesn't mean Bitcoin, that's it, now it's going to go higher. What I'm trying to get you to understand is the idea of it recovering this candle. Now, for scalpers, they may be looking for a V-shaped play. They may be looking for price to come back into this range and scalp that. Happy days. That's an opportunity. That's a trade. Done. Don't get caught up in the idea you need to buy at 41,500 and hope it goes to 50. Forget that. Yeah? Study the charts. Study the behavior, because I promise you, they're going to do it again. They are going to do this sort of behavior again and again and again. All right? 33 seconds till the proof of the move, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We've just seen them liquidate all the longs. Shorts have now come into the charts. Are they going to pay the price? Are the shorts going to pay as well? Look, all that liquidity's disappeared right there, man. Look at that. Completely gone. Here we go. 13 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 13 seconds. Half an hour. We've had the stop hunt. Let's see where they go from here. Here we are. So potentially the start of the new 1 hour candle. They may look to try and recover this wick in this area here. So let's see what happens. Here we go. All systems go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the proof. Wick. Come on. Wick out. The wick coming in. Nope. It's coming down. New York Brink session is over now, guys. Here we go. Let's look closer. Let's pay attention to that. Just look at the chart. Just watch how they move. Yeah? Look at that. That's aggressive. That is very aggressive. Delta coming in. Orders 212 Bitcoin. They did that earlier on, but they collapsed it. 94 coming in. Try and get back up above the VWAP. Maybe. Nice little recovery. Pushing up. Are they going to go back into this area? Let's see. Is the same interest going to come into this zone, ladies and gentlemen? Nice sharp move. Come on, Bitcoin. What have you got for us? Ah, don't like it. 3 o'clock still. Not even a minute into the hour yet. Not a minute into the hour. Have we had the news out yet? 3 o'clock. Existing home sales. Okay, so we're just having some news play coming into action. What's yen doing? 127.85. Okay, it's dropping down a little bit. Has that done anything? Looks like it's a bleed, ladies and gentlemen. They're stalling. Looks like it's a stall. All right then. What time are we at? Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope you've learnt a thing or two. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on tonight's live stream or video, whichever it is I decide to do. But I want to thank you all for being here today. Please stay safe, trade well. I've got nothing but love for you all. Take care of yourselves. Peace.